The media tried to bury this story, but the truth is out. Schumer's approval is tanking, the evidence is undeniable, and even Democrats are running for cover. What happens next could end his career forever. If you are ready to hear the truth, the media tried to hide, share this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment with your thoughts on Schumer's downfall. The Capitol press room is filled with restless energy. Reporters shift in their seats, cameras flash, the low murmur of whispers spreads across the room. Everyone is waiting. They know something big is coming, but no one is fully prepared. Then the reason for all this tension appears on the massive screen behind the podium, a breaking report. The headline alone is enough to send shockwaves through the room. Chuck Schumer is at the center of a major political scandal. The kind of scandal that does not just damage reputations, it ends careers. Yet the mainstream media is silent. They are trying to bury the truth, hoping the public does not notice. But that will not happen today. The truth is coming out whether they like it or not. The doors swing open. The administration's spokesperson steps in, calm and confident. They walk to the podium, look straight at the press and say, "Let's talk about what the media is not telling you." The press room is tense. Reporters whisper to each other, glancing at their notes. CNN, MSNBC, and the usual media allies are already working overtime to protect Chuck Schumer. They are trying to control the story, calling it a misunderstanding, a minor issue, nothing worth looking into. But the evidence says otherwise. A CNN reporter speaks first, voice sharp, ready to spin the narrative. "Press secretary, is this not just another partisan attack on a respected leader?" The spokesperson does not even blink. A slight smirk appears before they lean into the microphone. "Oh, so now corruption is just a misunderstanding?" That is cute. The room shifts. Some reporters exchange quick glances, others grip their pens, waiting for the next move. Then, the screen behind the podium lights up. Documents, financial, records, testimonies. The evidence is right there. Millions of dollars quietly funneled into organizations closely tied to Schumer's biggest donors. These same donors, by sheer coincidence, benefited from his policies. Grants, contracts, legal, loopholes, all lined up perfectly in their favor. A reporter from MSNBC tries to cut in, but the spokesperson raises a hand. "Before you try to explain this away, let me ask, how many times does something have to look corrupt before we just call it corruption?" The words hang in the air. The press knows what is happening, but they are desperate to look the other way. The spokesperson tilts their head, letting the moment settle. "Coincidence?" A pause, a small chuckle. "Sure. And I am the Queen of England." A few reporters shift uncomfortably. Others know this is just the beginning. The cover-up is falling apart, and this scandal, it is about to get a whole lot worse. The room is silent now. The weight of what is on that screen is undeniable. Emails, internal memos, leaked messages between congressional aides. They do not just suggest that Chuck Schumer knew what was happening. They prove it. He was not just aware, he was orchestrating it. The documents lay it out step by step. Schumer pushed policies that directly benefited his donors while standing in front of cameras pretending to fight for the people. He spoke about fairness, transparency, and holding the powerful accountable, all while making sure those same powerful elites got exactly what they wanted. A journalist from the Washington Post tries to step in. "Press secretary, is it not possible that this is being taken out of context?" The spokesperson lets out a short breath, then leans forward. "Let me ask you something. If a Republican did this, would you be calling it a misunderstanding?" The journalist hesitates. No response. "Thought so. Now, let us talk about the people who were actually hurt by all of this. While Schumer was securing backroom deals, regular Americans were struggling. They were paying higher taxes, watching their grocery bills skyrocket, wondering why, no matter how hard they worked, it never seemed to be enough. Inflation kept rising, but somehow, Schumer's friends never seemed to feel the effects. This was not just a case of political favoritism. This was a betrayal. A man who claimed to be fighting for the working class was busy making sure his wealthy allies stayed on top. It was never about the people. It was always about power. Then, a new slide appears on the screen. A quote from a former congressional aide who witnessed these deals happened behind closed doors. The words are chilling. Everyone in the room knew what was happening. No one said a word. That is how Washington works. They count on the media to ignore the truth. They count on everyday people being too busy trying to make ends meet to notice. They count on the system protecting them, no matter how corrupt they become. But this time, the truth is out, and no amount of spin is going to make it go away. The spokesperson looks around the room, pausing for just a second before delivering the final blow. Schumer thought no one would find out. He was wrong. The reporters sit in stunned silence, because deep down, they know it is all true. And there is no walking away from this now. If this scandal shocks you as much as it should, take a second to like this video, subscribe, and tell us. Should Schumer resign? Schumer's team is in full panic mode. The moment the story breaks, they scramble to put together a statement. It is carefully worded, designed to sound strong, but say nothing. These allegations are baseless, Schumer claims. A desperate attempt to smear my reputation. His team hopes that if they say it loud enough, people will believe it. The media jumps in immediately, not to investigate, but to protect him. Suddenly, every headline downplays the scandal. Misinterpreted documents, they say. Unverified claims, they write. The same outlets that demand resignations when a Republican sneezes the wrong way are now preaching about giving Schumer the benefit of the doubt. This is how it always works. When a Republican is accused of something, the media calls for immediate resignations. The outrage is loud, relentless, inescapable. But when it is a powerful Democrat, suddenly it is a nothing burger. Suddenly it is old news. Suddenly, reporters who claim to fight for truth and justice are nowhere to be found. The spokesperson at the podium watches this play out with amused disbelief. "You guys are unbelievable," they say, shaking their head. "You could cover corruption, but I guess that would not fit the narrative, would it?" A few reporters shift uncomfortably. Others try to pretend they did not hear the remark. Then, a new slide appears on the screen. It is a fresh poll, and the numbers are brutal. Schumer's approval ratings have collapsed. The trust he once had with voters is shattered. Even some Democrats are turning on him. They see the writing on the wall. Schumer is becoming a liability, and in Washington, that means one thing: his days are numbered. This is not just about one scandal. This is about a system that has protected the powerful for too long. But this time, the truth is too big to ignore. The question is no longer if Schumer survives this. It is how much longer. He can hold on. The room is buzzing again, but this time, it is different. The whispers are louder. The reporters are not just discussing the scandal anymore. They are reacting to something new. A breaking report flashes across the screen. The headline is impossible to ignore. The FBI is now involved. This is no longer just a PR disaster. This is a legal nightmare. Federal investigators have opened an inquiry into Schumer's connections, his financial deals, and the web of corruption surrounding him. And now, there is talk of something even worse. A grand jury subpoena. That means serious evidence. That means real consequences. The spokesperson steps forward, hands resting firmly on the podium. They glance at the sea of reporters, letting the tension hang for just a moment before speaking. Well, well, well. Look who is suddenly under federal scrutiny. I was told this was just a misunderstanding. The sarcasm is unmistakable. Some reporters shift in their seats. Others tighten their grips on their pens. A journalist from the Associated Press raises a hand. Are you saying Schumer could face criminal charges? The spokesperson tilts their head slightly, as if amused by the question. Then, with a calm and deliberate tone, they respond. I am saying if justice is blind, he should be very, very worried. The room falls silent. There is no clever response, no quick rebuttal, because the reality is sinking in. This is not just another political hit job. This is real. This is happening. And just like clockwork, The media scrambles to protect Schumer. CNN, MSNBC, and their usual allies suddenly change their tone. The new spin? Republicans are just weaponizing investigations. It is the same playbook they always use. When a Republican is investigated, they call it accountability. But when it is one of their own, suddenly, it is a political attack. The spokesperson smirks, watching as the press desperately tries to steer the conversation away from the actual evidence. You can call it whatever you want, they say. But the facts do not change. The FBI does not open investigations for fun. They do it when there is something worth investigating. Reporters glance at each other. Some already know where this is heading. Others are still hoping Schumer can escape this. But the truth is undeniable now. The scandal is only getting bigger. And Schumer, he is running out of places to hide. If this scandal shocks you as much as it should, take a second to like this video, subscribe, and tell us, should Schumer resign? The shift is happening. Quietly at first, but unmistakable. Schumer's own party is backing away. Not because they suddenly care about integrity, not because they want justice, but because they see what is coming. Democrats who once defended him without hesitation are now dodging questions. Some refuse to comment. Others use vague statements about letting the process play out. But the real sign that Schumer's time is up? The leaks have started. Insiders are coming forward, revealing even more corruption, more shady deals, more evidence of a man who built his career on power and backroom favors. They know he is finished. And in Washington, no one sticks around to go down with the sinking ship. The press room is buzzing with desperation. Reporters are scrambling, trying to rewrite the narrative, trying to find an angle that can save Schumer. But it is too late. The damage is done. The spokesperson steps forward, taking one last look around the room. They know the moment is here. The final blow. With a steady voice, they speak the words that leave no room for doubt. The people Schumer claimed to fight for, he sold them out. And now they are watching as his career collapses in real time. The air in the room changes. The media knows they have lost control of the story. The Democrats know this is not going away. And Schumer? He knows his days in power are numbered. A final headline flashes on the screen. Polling numbers, approval, ratings in free fall. The spokesperson lets the silence linger before delivering the last words that seal Schumer's fate. Chuck Schumer thought he could get away with this. He thought no one would find out. But now, the truth is out, and it is over for him. With that, they turn and walk away. No further comments. No answering desperate follow-up questions. Just a controlled, deliberate exit. The press room erupts into chaos. Reporters are shouting, scrambling for a way to spin this. Staffers are frantically making calls. Somewhere, Schumer himself is watching, realizing that this is not just another bad headline. This is the end. The truth always finds a way to come out. The media tried to hide it. They twisted the story. They ignored the evidence. But it was not enough. The facts were too strong. The scandal was too big. Schumer spent years thinking he could get away with anything, that no one would ever hold him accountable, that the system would always protect him. But not this time. He cannot spin his way out of this. The people see the truth now, and they will not forget. Remember this moment, because this is what happens when corruption gets exposed.